Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going to be looking at AI and its impact on marketing. We've got a really interesting report here called the Futureproof Project CMO 2025 AI Insights Report, and it's by an agency called Traction.
Yeah, this report's really cool because it goes beyond just like the trends and gives some actual strategic guidance for, CMOs and others who are trying to navigate this like rapidly evolving world of AI-powered marketing.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we get too deep into the details, let's just talk about what makes this report unique.
So what really stood out to me was how they connect like the global impact of AI with
Right.
practical advice for CMOs. It's
Well,
not just about like understanding the tech. It's about anticipating how it's going to reshape everything
yeah.
from consumer trust to even the job market.
Right. Yeah, well, let's unpack that a little bit. I mean, anxieties around AI trust is something that they talk about in the report.
Hmm.
And it reminded me of that talk by Tara Sharp, the former Google CMO,
Mm.
at Davos last year.
Huh.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. Sharp argued that leaders need to be really proactive
Yeah.
about building trust, especially as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
Totally. Because, I mean, think about it. If consumers don't trust the AI that's powering their
Yeah,
experiences,
right.
they're less likely to engage with brands.
Absolutely.
And this report also doesn't shy away from some of the potential negatives, like job market disruption.
It doesn't.
That IMF prediction that 40% of global jobs could be affected by AI,
Hmm.
that's a pretty significant number.
That's huge, yeah. And Traction emphasizes that like navigating this transformation
Yeah.
requires this really delicate balance. Like CMOs need to be thinking about how to upskill their teams,
Yeah.
leverage AI for efficiency,
Yeah.
and then ultimately create new opportunities.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
It's not all doom and gloom.
Okay. There's a positive side to this as well.
Absolutely. Traction highlights what they call like a tsunami of opportunity, particularly for women in tech leadership. So AI could actually level the playing field, create new roles, and promote more equality in certain sectors.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's really good to hear. So let's bring it back to the world of marketing specifically.
Okay.
What are some of the key priorities that CMOs need to be thinking about in this AI-driven future?
So Traction lays out this model, and they call it crawl, walk, run,
Okay.
which outlines the three stages of AI implementation.
I like that. Crawl, walk, run.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really visual way to think about how companies can gradually integrate AI into their strategies.
Yeah, it does make it a lot less intimidating than like just diving headfirst into AI, right?
Totally.
Okay, so walk us through it. What does each stage involve?
So in the crawl phase, the focus is on boosting operations and productivity using AI apps that are already out there,
Right.
off the shelf. Um, think of it as like dipping your toes in the water,
Uh-huh.
experimenting with things like content creation tools or basic automation.
Okay, so you're getting comfortable with the tech and hopefully getting some early wins.
Exactly.
All right, so then what happens when we start walking?
So that's where you start tailoring AI solutions using your own internal data to get like a competitive edge.
Okay.
You're going beyond off-the-shelf tools at this point
Yeah.
and really starting to like, you know, build custom solutions that use your own unique insights.
So it's getting a little bit more strategic at this point.
Yeah, much more.
All right, and then finally the run phase.
The run phase is when you're leveraging really sophisticated, custom-built AI models
Okay.
to really enhance and differentiate your customer experience.
This is where you become like a true AI-powered marketing machine.
Totally.
Okay, so that's an exciting vision for the future.
Yeah.
But are there any like real-world examples of companies that are actually using this crawl, walk, run model?
There are. Traction highlights what they call like tangible success stories,
Okay.
companies that are already using AI and getting really amazing results.
Okay, cool.
And one of the key areas they focus on is AI-powered brand management.
Okay, so what does that look like?
So imagine having AI systems that can like automatically ensure that your brand's consistent across all of your touch points.
Wow, so are we talking about things like automatically transforming brand guidelines into visual platforms like Canva or Figma?
Exactly. And that means no more like endless back and forth between marketing and creative teams.
Yeah.
The AI can help make sure everyone's staying on brand, even with all of these different content formats and platforms that we have today.
That's pretty amazing. But how do you make sure that the AI-generated content isn't like generic or off-brand?
That's a good question. Traction talks about these AI image guardrails,
Okay.
which use custom prompts and character sets to keep things consistent.
Okay, so it's like setting boundaries for the AI,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring it understands the brand's visual language.
Yeah.
Okay, so even with AI doing a lot of the work,
Right.
companies still maintain control over their brand.
They do.
That's great.
And then they even talk about visual brand training, which takes it even a step further. It's like curating a collection of brand-approved content
Yeah.
that's then used to train these AI models on specific aesthetics, even motion.
So you're essentially teaching the AI the nuances of your brand's visual identity.
Yeah, it's like having an AI apprentice who, like, absorbs your entire style guide.
That's a great way to put it. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's static visuals, but what about video?
Yeah.
That's a huge part of marketing.
Yeah.
How's AI impacting that world?
That's where things get really interesting. Traction talks about this company called Futureproof Films,
Okay.
and they're doing some groundbreaking work in what they call AI video augmentation.
Future-proof films.
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. What are they doing exactly?
They're blending Hollywood storytelling with AI
Okay.
to create a whole new way of producing video.
All right, hold on. So they're having AI direct the movie. What happens to the human directors and the creatives?
Well, Futureproof Films is very clear that humans are still central to their approach.
Okay.
They see AI as a tool to enhance human creativity, not replace it.
Okay.
So it's about augmenting the capabilities of filmmakers, not making them obsolete.
Right. So finding that sweet spot, that synergy
Yeah.
between human expertise and AI.
Exactly. And they have these really fascinating examples
Right.
of how this works in practice. They talk about using a combination of different AI tools, Google VO, Runway, Midjourney, each with its own strengths,
Yeah.
to create this like super efficient and
Right.
creative workflow.
It's like assembling the ultimate video production dream team powered by AI.
Totally.
I'm curious though, do they actually like share their workflow? Like which tools they use for which tasks?
They do. They actually share a typical workflow, and
Okay.
it's pretty impressive. So they start by writing a script using Claude.
Okay.
Then they compose the jingle with Atube,
Uh-huh.
create images with Midjourney,
Mm-hmm.
and then manipulate them in Photoshop.
Right.
Then generate the video in Runway.
Yeah.
Add those like really cool cinematic shots with Luma AI, and then finally they edit it all in Premiere Pro.
That is quite the pipeline.
Yeah.
It makes me think though about how AI is impacting like digital workflows more broadly, not
Right.
just video production.
Absolutely. And that's something that Traction dives into as well. They talk about the rise of AI agents and how
Right.
they have the potential to really revolutionize marketing workflows.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
What are AI agents and why should marketers care?
So imagine you have this like super intelligent software program
Okay.
and it can act on your behalf,
Ah.
automate complex tasks,
Yeah.
personalize interactions,
Okay.
and even learn from its experiences to
Mhm.
become more effective over time.
Okay, so it's like having a team of digital assistants working for you
Yeah,
to make your marketing more efficient.
exactly.
Okay.
And they can handle all sorts of tasks,
Yeah.
like scheduling social media posts,
Yeah.
generating email campaigns,
Mhm.
even providing like personalized customer support.
That's really powerful. Are there any downsides though? Like what about concerns around bias in algorithms or ethical considerations?
Those are really important concerns,
Yeah.
but the benefits are hard to ignore. Like AI agents could free up marketers from all these tedious tasks
Yeah.
and let them focus on like strategy and creativity.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's all about finding that right balance,
Yeah,
implementing them responsibly, but also embracing this transformative potential.
absolutely.
Does Traction give any recommendations for how to do that?
They do. They suggest starting with like a small proof of concept project,
Okay.
maybe in an area like customer support,
Hmm.
to test and refine the capabilities.
Okay, so starting small.
Yeah, and scaling up as you gain confidence.
Don't try to boil the ocean.
Exactly. They also say it's super important to integrate AI agents with your existing CRM and analytics tools.
Got it. So that it's like a seamless operation
Right.
across all platforms.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about brand management, video production, digital workflows. What about search? I mean, that's obviously a huge topic that's getting a lot of attention lately,
Yeah.
and I know Traction has some insights to share about AI's impact there.
Yeah, they do. They even have a whole separate white paper just on AI and search.
Wow.
But in this report, they offer some key takeaways,
Okay.
specifically about Google's new multimodal AI.
Okay.
Gemini.
Oh, Gemini, that's the one we was talking about.
Yeah,
It's supposed to revolutionize search.
it is.
So what does Traction say about how it's going to impact SEO?
So they highlight 5 key impacts that are going to be game changers.
Okay, ready. Hit me.
First, Gemini is going to lead to this enhanced understanding of search intent. It's
Correct.
going to go beyond just keywords
Okay.
and really understand the user's needs and motivations.
So understanding the why behind the search, not just the what.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this ties into the second impact, which is deeper content analysis. So Gemini is going to be able to understand not just the words on the page,
Right.
the context, the relationships between things,
Yeah.
the overall quality of the information.
So content can't just be a jumble of keywords anymore.
No, not at all.
It has to actually be good.
It has to be valuable.
Okay.
And this leads to the third impact, which is a shift towards entities and topics.
Okay.
Gemini will understand the connections between different concepts. So it's going to be able to surface the most relevant content,
Okay.
even if it doesn't contain the exact keywords that the user searched for.
So it's about creating content that's structured around those entities and topics.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the fourth impact is user experience.
Okay.
So Gemini is going to consider page speed, mobile friendliness, and site quality when ranking results.
Right. It makes sense. People are going to be more likely to engage if the website loads quickly and is easy to use.
Totally. And finally, we have the rise of multimodal search.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Gemini will be able to process information from multiple modalities,
Okay.
including text, images, audio, and video.
Whoa. So we're talking about searching using not just text, but like images, voice commands, even videos.
Yeah.
That's a whole new level of search.
It is, and Traction emphasizes that to win in this new landscape, you have to adapt your SEO strategy.
So how do we do that?
You've got to create comprehensive content that addresses the why,
Oh.
structure it around entities and topics, optimize for user experience,
Yeah.
and embrace this multimodal search.
This is a lot to take in.
It is.
It sounds like Gemini is going to be a real game changer.
Absolutely.
It's exciting, though.
It's super exciting.
So it seems like having a framework to navigate all of this change is really important.
It is.
Well, speaking of frameworks, Traction offers something called the Futureproof framework.
Yes.
And they claim this can help companies achieve like a strategic advantage in the age of AI. Let's dive into that and see what they have to offer.
All right, sounds good. So, the Futureproof framework.
Yeah.
It's all about addressing the challenges that companies face when they try to implement AI.
Okay.
They have identified these 5 key areas that have to be addressed for successful integration and long-term success with AI.
Okay, so what are those 5 key areas?
So the first one is data.
Makes sense.
They say data is like the fuel for AI,
Yeah, okay.
and organizations need to prioritize things like data quality,
Yeah.
accessibility, and governance. So establishing data cleanliness,
Okay.
optimizing infrastructure,
Yeah.
and aligning your marketing technology stack.
Okay, so you're setting a good foundation.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out.
Right, exactly. Okay, so what's number 2?
Number 2 is what they call the MarTech backbone.
Okay.
And this is about having like a really robust technological infrastructure
Uh-huh.
that can support all these sophisticated AI applications.
So like your systems need to be up to date and scalable.
Yeah, current,
Yeah.
scalable, and able to handle all the demands of AI-powered marketing.
So it's like having a really strong foundation.
Yeah, sturdy frame for the house.
Okay, I like that analogy. What about the people, though? Where
Yeah.
do they fit in?
So that's the third area, creative and content collaboration.
Okay.
And AI is changing how we create content,
Yeah.
but Traction emphasizes that it should enhance human creativity, not replace it.
Okay.
So it's about building teams that can effectively collaborate with AI
Right.
to make innovative and engaging content.
So finding that sweet spot between AI and human creativity.
Obsessed.
AI can do a lot of the heavy lifting, but ultimately it's still human creativity that's going to make it special.
Totally agree. And then the fourth key area
Okay.
is dynamic activation and optimization.
What does that mean?
So this is using AI to enhance your campaign performance management. Think about like real-time ROI evaluation, dynamic budget optimization,
Yeah.
predictive analytics.
So it's about using AI to make your marketing campaigns smarter, more efficient.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and all of this needs to be done responsibly,
Of
right?
course.
Like ethically.
Traction really stresses the importance of having clear governance and visibility protocols
Yeah.
to ensure that AI is being used ethically
Yep.
and in alignment with your company's values.
All right, that's a really important point.
Yeah.
What about the fifth and final key area?
The fifth one is operations with humanity.
Okay.
And this is where they emphasize that organizations need to be really mindful
Mm-hmm.
of the human impact of AI adoption.
Okay.
Like addressing employees' concerns about how AI is going to affect their roles and
Yeah.
making sure that it benefits everyone,
Yeah.
not just the bottom line.
It's a good reminder that this is about people too,
Yeah.
not just technology.
Yeah.
So Traction believes that by focusing on these 5 areas, organizations can create a roadmap for AI transformation
Yes.
that leads to lasting success.
Yes.
Okay, I can see how this is a really comprehensive and thoughtful framework.
Yeah.
But how does this translate into actual concrete actions? How does a company actually go about implementing this framework?
So they have a 5-step blueprint for AI marketing transformation.
Okay, break it down for us.
The first step is what they call optimizing foundations,
Okay.
which involves things like team knowledge and upskilling, organization design and change management data, and MarTech stack alignment, and establishing clear visibility and governance protocols.
So these basically like making sure everyone's on the same page before you even start doing anything.
Totally. You've got to make sure you have the right infrastructure before you start implementing any solutions.
It's like prepping the soil before you plant the seeds.
Exactly.
Okay, what's step 2?
Step 2 is driving efficiency and team productivity.
Okay, so that's where things start to get interesting.
Yeah.
How does AI help companies do that?
So they highlight a bunch of areas where AI can make a big difference,
Okay.
like scaled brand management, content acceleration and automation,
Right.
rapid campaign development, and streamlined B2B workflows.
So it's about freeing up your team to focus on those higher level tasks
Exactly.
by automating all that tedious stuff.
Yes.
Working smarter, not harder, with AI.
That's the idea. The third step is mapping insights and the customer journey.
This is where I get really intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more about how AI can help us understand the customer journey better.
Well, they talk about using AI for rapid insight generation and segmentation,
Yeah.
AI-powered UX research and journey mapping, and then even AI-driven focus groups and synthetic analytics.
Wow.
So it's really about using AI to gather data, and analyze patterns, and uncover those key insights that can help you really understand your customers.
It's like having an AI detective working behind the scenes to solve the mystery of the customer journey.
Exactly. The fourth step is brand-to-demand activation.
All right, tell me more about that. What is that?
It's all about using AI to create personalized experiences that drive conversions. So things like personalized, account-based marketing content, hyper-personalized experiences and value creation across channels, 24/7 AI-powered digital assistants, and something called Futureproof CMO.
Oh, Futureproof CMO. We'll have to dive into that later.
We will, but first let's finish this blueprint. So the fifth and final step is to boost growth and business outcomes.
All right, so this is where you see the results of all this AI implementation.
Yeah, the payoff.
So how does AI help us achieve that?
So they suggest using AI for things like surfing media algorithms and optimizing campaign performance, automating business processes with custom AI agents, and enabling real-time complex decision-making that's tied to business outcomes.
So it's about using AI to optimize every part of your marketing operation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Yeah.
It's really exciting, actually.
It is. It's like they're saying, don't just keep up, become the disruptor yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I really appreciate about Traction's approach is that they're not just like hyping up AI.
Right.
They're saying, hey, you need to ease into this. You need to have like a staged implementation.
Totally.
So you don't get overwhelmed.
Exactly. Remember the crawl, walk, run model?
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
It's about meeting organizations where they are in their AI journey.
Okay, so remind us again what each stage involves.
All right, so crawl.
Yeah.
That's all about boosting operations and productivity with off-the-shelf AI apps.
Okay.
Just getting your feet wet,
Yeah.
getting comfortable, seeing some quick wins.
All right, so starting small and building confidence. Then walk.
Walk is where you start tailoring AI solutions using your internal data. This is how you start to get a competitive edge.
So you're going beyond just generic AI tools.
Yeah.
And building something more custom to your needs.
Exactly.
Okay, and then finally, run.
Run is where you enhance and differentiate customer experience with really sophisticated, custom-built AI models.
That's where you become the AI powerhouse.
Totally.
Okay, so this model gives a really clear roadmap for AI adoption.
It
It's a
does.
practical guide, not just theory.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, but I want to touch on AI's impact on search one more time.
Yeah.
I know Traction has a whole white paper on
We
this,
do.
but they did share some insights in this report
Hmm.
about Google's new multimodal AI,
Gemini.
right, Gemini.
That was the big news.
It's huge.
So what did they highlight?
They highlighted 5 key impacts that marketers need to be aware of.
Okay, let's hear them.
So the first one is enhanced understanding of search intent. It's like Google Search, but way more powerful.
Yeah.
Gemini will be able to really understand the user's needs and motivations. So it's understanding the why behind a search.
Exactly.
Okay, and then what's the second one?
The second impact is deeper content analysis.
Okay.
Gemini is going to analyze content way deeper, understanding not just the words, but the context, the relationships, and the overall quality.
So it's not about stuffing keywords in there anymore.
No,
It has to actually be informative.
it has to be good content.
Got it. Okay, what's the third impact?
The third impact is a shift toward entities and topics.
Okay.
So Gemini will be able to understand the connections between different concepts
Yeah.
and surface the most relevant content, even if it doesn't have the exact keywords.
So it's not just about individual keywords,
Yeah.
but understanding the broader topics?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
And the fourth impact is the importance of user experience.
Okay.
So Gemini is going to consider page speed, mobile friendliness, and overall site quality when ranking search results.
So it needs to be easy to use, easy to find. Okay, and what about the fifth and final impact?
The fifth one is the rise of multimodal search.
Okay.
Their Gemini is going to be able to process information from all sorts of modalities, text, images, audio, and video.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It is.
We're not just searching with text anymore.
We're not.
So marketers need to create content that's optimized for all those modalities.
They do. And Traction really emphasizes that this is going to be a big shift in how we approach SEO.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in,
It is.
but it's clear that Gemini's going to disrupt things.
It is. It's already happening.
And it's happening now.
Yeah.
Traction's given us a lot to think about.
They have. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is that AI isn't some futuristic concept.
Right.
It's here now.
Yeah.
And it's changing the game for marketers. The ones who embrace it and adapt
Yeah.
will be the ones who thrive.
Well said. Speaking of thriving, Traction has a lot to say about how we can use AI to boost creativity and get better results.
Yeah.
They even have a separate division called Futureproof Films, which focuses specifically on AI-powered video production.
Yeah, they're doing some incredible work.
Okay, so tell me more about Futureproof Films and how they're using AI to create these amazing videos.
So one of the things that makes Futureproof Films unique is that they recognize that even though AI can automate a lot of video production, it's still the human element that brings a story to life.
Yeah.
They have a team of experienced storytellers and creatives who really understand how to connect with audiences.
Yeah.
They're not just throwing AI at the problem. They're carefully blending human expertise with AI capabilities.
So it's a collaboration.
Exactly.
AI is enhancing the creative vision, not replacing it.
Right. And they use a variety of different AI tools like Google VO for generating realistic visuals and custom effects, Runway for video editing and motion graphics, and Luma AI for adding cinematic touches.
So they've got a whole arsenal of AI-powered tools. But how do they know which tool to use for which task?
Well, that's where their expertise comes in.
Okay.
They have this deep understanding of each tool capabilities, and they know how to use them to get the right result.
Yeah.
They're constantly experimenting and pushing the boundaries.
So it's like art and science coming together.
It is intuition and technology.
Yeah, that's great. But what about the results? Are they actually making good videos that resonate with people?
They are. They've produced some really engaging and effective videos.
Okay.
And they've done it all while saving time and money.
So it's efficient and cost-effective.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
That's great. All right, let's shift gears and talk about digital workflow automation.
Okay.
We touched on this earlier with AI agents.
Yeah.
But I want to dig a little deeper into how AI is changing the day-to-day for marketing teams.
This is where AI can really help marketers free up their time and focus on more important things.
Okay, I'm ready. Tell me everything.
So Traction talks about AI's ability to streamline workflows,
Yeah.
automate those repetitive
Oh,
tasks,
like,
and really free up time for more strategic and creative work.
so less busy work, more big picture thinking.
Exactly. They even predict that soon, every marketer will have a personalized AI assistant.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, think about that.
That sounds amazing.
It's going to help them be so much more efficient and effective.
It really does sound like a dream come true. No more like spending hours scheduling social media posts or pulling data reports.
Right. Imagine just focusing on the fun stuff like creative campaigns and building relationships
Yeah,
and letting your AI assistant handle all the mundane tasks.
that would be incredible. And it's not just about saving time either, right? It's about improving the quality of the work, too.
Absolutely. AI can personalize marketing messages,
Yeah.
target campaigns more effectively,
Huh.
and even predict customer behavior.
It's like having this superpowered marketing brain working for you 24/7, constantly analyzing data and giving you insights you might never have thought of. Okay, so this all sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but I have to ask,
Mm-hmm.
what about the people whose jobs are being impacted by all this automation?
That's a great question, and it's one that a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
Are we all going to be out of work? Are robots going to be doing all the marketing?
Right. Yeah.
But Traction believes that AI will actually create more jobs
Okay.
than it eliminates.
Interesting.
They argue that it's going to free up marketers
Yeah.
to focus on those higher level
Yeah.
strategic and creative tasks
Right.
that require uniquely human skills. Things like empathy, intuition, and critical thinking.
So it's not about replacing humans. It's about augmenting human capabilities.
Exactly. It's a partnership
Yeah.
between humans and machines
Yeah.
where each brings their own strengths.
So working with AI, not against it.
That's the key.
But let's get back to like the practical side of things.
Okay.
What are some actual examples of how AI is being used to automate workflows today?
So one example is dynamic ad optimization.
Okay.
The AI can analyze tons of data in real time
Yeah.
to figure out which ads are performing best,
Uh-huh.
and then automatically adjust things like bids and targeting to maximize your ROI.
So instead of like manually tweaking your campaigns all the time,
Right.
you can let the AI handle it
Exactly.
and make sure you're getting the most out of your ad budget.
Another example is content distribution.
Right.
The AI can analyze your audience data
Uh,
and figure out the best time and channels
yeah.
to distribute your content.
So no more guessing when to post on social media.
Yep.
The AI just tells you when and where your audience is most likely to see it.
Exactly. And then you've got customer support.
Okay.
AI-powered chatbots can handle all sorts of customer inquiries 24/7,
That's a good one.
which frees up human agents
Yeah.
to deal with the more complex stuff.
Yeah, so it's improving efficiency and the customer experience at the same time.
Right.
Customers don't have to wait on hold forever.
Exactly. They can just get their questions answered instantly by a chatbot.
And if the chatbot can't handle it,
Yeah,
it can seamlessly escalate it to a human.
that's great. This is all so fascinating. I can't wait to see where AI takes us next.
It's moving so fast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to something you said earlier, though.
Okay.
Traction's prediction that every marketer will have their own AI assistant.
Yeah.
Do you really think that's going to happen?
I think it's very possible. We're already seeing AI-powered marketing platforms
Yeah.
that offer all kinds of capabilities, from content creation to campaign management
Right.
to data analysis.
So it's like having an entire team of marketing experts.
Yeah, all powered by AI.
Right at your fingertips.
And as these platforms get more sophisticated and personalized, I think they'll become an essential tool for every marketer.
Imagine asking your AI assistant to analyze your website traffic
Right.
or identify your top performing content
Exactly.
or even write a personalized email campaign. That's the future.
It's both exciting and a little scary
It is.
to think about how much AI is changing things.
But the marketers who embrace it
Mm,
are the ones who will thrive.
that's a good point. All right, so we've covered a lot today, but before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to take a moment to reflect on some of the key takeaways
Yeah.
and leave our listeners with some food for thought.
Sounds good. What are some of the biggest things you've learned from this report?
I think the biggest one for me is realizing that AI isn't some futuristic concept anymore.
Right.
It's happening now,
It's here.
and it's changing marketing in huge ways.
Totally. It's impacting everything we do.
Yeah, it's not something to be afraid of,
Yeah.
something to embrace.
Exactly.
And Traction did a great job of outlining the challenges and opportunities
They did.
that come with this new AI-driven world.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important takeaways, though, is that AI isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
It's not. What works for one company
Yeah.
might not work for another. So you have to experiment, find what works best for you, and be willing to adapt.
Right, because things change so quickly.
They do. AI is constantly learning and improving.
Yeah.
What we have today is just the beginning.
That's what makes this so exciting.
It really
A
is.
whole new world of possibilities.
Before we get carried away,
Yeah.
let's give our listeners some practical advice for getting started with AI.
Good idea. What would you recommend?
Don't be intimidated.
Okay.
It can seem overwhelming,
Yeah.
but there are so many resources out there, online courses, books, articles, even AI-powered tools that can help you.
So you don't have to become an expert overnight. No. Just start learning the basics.
Yeah, experiment with some tools and gradually incorporate AI into your strategy.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
That's a good point. There are consultants and agencies who
Yeah.
can help you develop a strategy.
Exactly. I'd also recommend starting with a small project. Don't try to do everything at once.
Right.
Focus on one area where AI can make a difference.
Okay, so starting small and scaling up.
Yeah,
AI is a journey, not a destination.
that's a good way to put it.
It's about constantly learning and adapting.
It is. And the more you learn about AI,
Yeah.
the more you'll see its potential.
Okay.
It can really transform your marketing.
I completely agree. But before we wrap up this deep dive,
It's okay.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Yeah.
A quote from Traction's report that really stuck with me.
Okay, what is it?
The most important skill in getting good outcomes from AI is knowing what good outcomes look like.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It really highlights how quickly things are changing.
Yeah,
But ultimately, we get to define what success looks like.
exactly. AI is the tool, but we're the architects.
We are. We need to be clear about our goals,
Yeah.
our values, and what kind of future we want to create.
It's a call to action for everyone,
It is.
not just marketers, to think critically,
Yeah.
ask tough questions, and make sure AI is being used to build a better world.
Not just a more profitable one.
Exactly. Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've only scratched the surface of what AI can do.
It's true.
But hopefully this deep dive has given our listeners a good starting point.
Definitely. And we encourage everyone to keep exploring,
Yeah.
experimenting, and sharing their own insight.
Absolutely. The future of AI is being written now,
It is.
and we're all part of the story.
We are.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI and marketing.
It really has been a fascinating look at how AI is reshaping the industry.
Yeah, and one thing that really stood out to me from Traction's report was their focus on responsible AI implementation. It's not just about adopting the latest tech.
Right.
It's about doing so ethically and thoughtfully.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it goes back to those global anxieties we talked about earlier around AI. Like what Tara Sharp said at Davos, building trust is absolutely crucial.
Totally. If people don't trust the AI, they're not going to engage.
Exactly.
So how can our listeners apply this idea of responsible AI to their own marketing?
Well, I think it starts with transparency.
Okay.
Be upfront with your audience about how you're using AI, what data you're collecting, how you're protecting their privacy,
Right.
and always be mindful of bias in algorithms.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Regularly audit your systems to make sure they're treating everyone fairly.
It's a powerful tool, but we have to use it responsibly.
Right.
So let's recap some key takeaways for our listeners who are ready to dive into AI.
Okay, so first,
Yeah.
embrace the idea of continuous learning.
Okay.
The AI landscape is changing so fast.
It is.
You got to stay curious, experiment,
Yeah.
and always be learning new skills.
Be adaptable, be proactive. And that's where Traction's Futureproof framework is so helpful.
Right. It gives you a roadmap.
Yeah.
And their crawl, walk, run model is a great way to approach implementation.
Start small, get some wins, and then scale up. When we talked about Gemini's impact on search earlier, it felt like a whole other conversation.
It did. There's so much to unpack
Yeah,
there.
I know. Enhanced understanding of search intent, deeper content analysis, the shift to entities and topics. It's a lot.
It is. And we can't forget about user experience and multimodal search either.
Right. SEO is so much more than just keywords now.
It really is.
It's about creating a great experience across all formats. But for marketers who are feeling overwhelmed by all this, what would you say?
Don't panic. Traction has a ton of resources, like that white paper we mentioned on AI and search. It goes into a lot more detail.
Perfect. We'll link to that in the show notes. But beyond the technical side of AI,
Yeah.
what about the impact on teams and workflows?
That's where AI agents are so exciting. Remember, they're not just automating tasks,
Right.
they're freeing us up to focus on strategy and creativity.
It's like having a team of digital assistants,
Yeah, working behind the scenes.
constantly analyzing data and optimizing everything.
Exactly. And Traction gave some good advice for getting started with AI agents. Identify those repetitive tasks, try a small project,
Uh-huh.
and make sure to integrate with your current systems.
Okay, so what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember from this conversation?
I think it's this. AI isn't just another marketing tool. It's a fundamental shift in how we approach marketing.
A whole new way of thinking.
It's a chance to be more efficient, more creative,
Hmm.
and more customer-focused.
Mm.
Embrace it, stay curious, and never stop learning.
I love that. We've covered so much today, but it's just the beginning of the AI conversation. Keep exploring, experimenting, and sharing what you learn
Yeah, and remember what Traction said.
about good outcomes.
Yes, we need to decide what good outcomes look like in this new AI world.
AI is a tool. We're the ones who get to decide how to use it.
Absolutely. So keep asking those tough questions,
Yeah.
push those boundaries,
Mm.
and create those amazing experiences.
That's what the future of marketing is all about.
It is.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into AI and marketing. Thanks for joining us.